You're standing in the kitchen with a bag of chia seeds in your hand. Inside the clear plastic, the tiny specks slide and whisper like dry sand. Black, gray, and pale. Too small to feel important. The label calls them a superfood, and your brain wants to believe that word because it sounds like a shortcut. Eat this, and you'll be healthier. Then you pour a spoonful into a glass of water. Within minutes, the seeds swell and wrap themselves in a soft, transparent gel, as if each one is putting on a tiny raincoat. It's strangely captivating, kitchen science you can watch in real time. So, what are chia seeds really? Why did ancient people treat them like fuel? And why has modern wellness turned them into a symbol? Hold on to that question, and you'll end with a 5-second rule that helps you use chia without regret. Let's get into it right here on Secrets of Simple Things. A plant with a clever design. Chia seeds are simply the seeds of a flowering plant called Salvia hispanica, a member of the mint family native to Central and parts of South America, especially regions that are now Mexico and Guatemala. The plant itself looks like a tall green herb topped with purple or white flowers, ordinary in the way many useful plants are ordinary. But inside those flowers is a seed built for survival. Seeds are the plant's promise to the future, condensed into something small enough to travel and tough enough to wait. Chia's name is often connected to an old word meaning oily, which fits, because these seeds carry a generous store of fat, especially omega-3 fatty acids, packed into a body smaller than a grain of rice. That's the first truth behind the trend. Chia isn't magic. It's a seed doing what seeds have always done, storing energy and resilience in a compact form. And long before chia showed up in smoothie bowls, it lived a very different life. Ancient fuel, not modern fashion. To modernize, chia can feel like a recent discovery. But for the Aztecs and Mayans, chia was familiar, a practical food that was dense, portable, and steady. Traditions around these cultures link chia with strength and endurance. And the logic is simple. If you're traveling long distances, you don't want food that spoils quickly or demands a complicated kitchen. You want something you can carry and trust. A handful of seeds can be stored, shared, and prepared with minimal effort. For a long time, chia stayed mostly within its home region. Then it made a comeback as people began chasing plant-based diets, whole foods, and nutrient-dense snacks. Today it's grown in more places, wherever the climate allows, and it has become a global pantry item. The seed didn't change. The story around it did. There's also a linguistic echo in the name itself. Chia is often traced to an older word meaning oily, which is how ancient people recognized its value without lab tests. They didn't talk about fatty acids. They talked about what a food did to the body, whether it carried you, whether it held you steady, whether it made a long day feel possible. And long before the internet discovered chia pudding, there was chia fresca, water mixed with citrus and a scattering of seeds. It wasn't marketed as wellness, it was simply refreshing. The gel made the drink feel thicker, more satisfying, as if hydration could have texture. In that sense, chia was never really new. It was just waiting for the world to circle back to it. In modern kitchens, chia's versatility is also cultural. In one home, it's stirred into oats because it makes breakfast last. In another, it's blended into a smoothie because it makes fruit taste richer. In another, it's a quiet tool for baking when eggs aren't an option. The same seed moves through different lives, changing its costume but keeping its function. And if you want one more gentle reminder, start small. A teaspoon today, a tablespoon later. Let your body learn slowly the language of fiber, the way it learns any language. By repetition, not by shock. And once something becomes a story, people start asking what's inside. Small, dense, and surprisingly complete. Chia is praised because it is nutritionally compact. In a small serving, about 2 tablespoons, you get a large dose of fiber, a useful amount of protein, and a substantial portion of healthy fats. You also get minerals like calcium and magnesium, along with iron and antioxidants. The numbers matter, but the deeper reason chia feels impressive is simpler. Seeds have to contain enough building material to start a life. Fiber is the headline for most people because it changes how the body feels. It supports digestion and can help you feel full longer. But chia's appeal isn't only about fullness, it's also about balance. Many modern diets lean heavily toward omega-6 fats from common oils and packaged foods. Chia offers a plant-based source of omega-3s, which is especially valued by people who don't eat fish. Still, nutrients are only the surface. The reason chia becomes unforgettable is what it does when it meets water. The sponge trick you can see. When chia seeds touch liquid, they transform. Within minutes, they begin absorbing water and forming a gel-like coating around themselves. This isn't a marketing claim. It's a physical property driven by soluble fiber. Each seed can absorb many times its weight in water, creating a soft barrier that changes texture and slows movement. That gel is why chia pudding works. It's why a smoothie thickens. It's why a glass of chia fresca, water with citrus and floating seeds, feels different than plain water. The gel turns something thin into something gentle. Inside the body, that same gel can slow digestion. Food moves more gradually, and many people feel fuller for longer. But here's the quiet twist. The same feature that makes chia feel helpful is also the feature that can make it uncomfortable. Because chia is not a powder you sprinkle mindlessly. It's a sponge. And if you treat a sponge like dust, it will still act like a sponge. Only now it's drawing water from wherever it can find it. That's the midpoint truth most people miss. Superfood makes chia sound limitless. In reality, chia is powerful in a very specific way, and power always comes with technique. The truth behind the trend. The first misconception is the simplest. More is better. Chia is high in fiber, and fiber is not something you can jump into without consequences. If your usual diet is low in fiber, eating a large amount of chia all at once can cause bloating or digestive discomfort. Your body isn't failing, it's adjusting. The second misconception is that chia is a magic solution for weight or health. Chia can support habits that make people feel better: more fullness, more fiber, more omega-3s. But it can't replace the larger structure of a balanced diet. A seed can't do the work of sleep, movement, and overall food quality. It can only join them. The third misconception is dryness. Some people treat chia like a topping you can scatter endlessly. That can be fine, but only if you pair it with enough liquid or give it time to hydrate. Dry chia still wants water. If you don't give it water in the glass, it will look for water in you. Once you understand that, chia becomes easier to use. And once it's easy, it becomes versatile. Why chia fits so many kitchens. Chia's popularity isn't only nutritional, it's practical. You can sprinkle it on yogurt, blend it into smoothies, or soak it overnight for pudding that feels both simple and strangely luxurious. You can grind it into flour and slip it into baked goods for a quiet boost. One of the most popular uses is as an egg substitute in vegan baking. Mix chia with water, wait a few minutes, and the gel that forms acts as a binder, helping pancakes and muffins hold together. It doesn't perfectly mimic eggs in every recipe, but it captures something eggs provide: structure. And while chia is often framed as a more sustainable option than some trend crops, the most important part of chia isn't a headline about the planet. It's how you use it on an ordinary Tuesday. So here is the part you can carry with you. The 5-second rule. Is your jar still usable? If chia is a tiny sponge, the practical question becomes, is your jar still usable? Open the lid and smell. If the aroma rises immediately, clean, mild, slightly nutty, you're good. If it smells flat or faintly rancid, the oils have begun to age. Then look at the seeds. Good chia is dry and loose, flowing like sand. If you see clumps or dampness, moisture has gotten in and quality is slipping. Store chia sealed in a cool, dry place away from sunlight. And for eating, remember the companion rule. If you eat it dry, chase it with water. If you want it gentle, soak it first. That's the real superfood secret, not the label, the method. A small seed, a quiet lesson. So what exactly are chia seeds? They are tiny seeds from a humble mint family plant, once valued for endurance, now celebrated for convenience and nutrition. They carry fiber, protein, omega-3s, and a design so simple you can see it work in a glass of water. But the deeper lesson isn't about trends, it's about attention. Chia rewards the kind of person who notices small things, how texture changes, how the body responds, how a habit becomes easier when you respect the material. A seed this small doesn't promise miracles. It offers something more honest, a little help, quietly, when you use it well. If this changed how you see chia, tell me in the comments. Do you use it in pudding, smoothies, yogurt, or something unexpected? And if you enjoy uncovering the quiet stories hidden inside everyday ingredients, consider subscribing so you don't miss the next small secret.